Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about gems, how they work, how you can use them, and where you should be putting them. So let's get into it. First of all, there's going to be a lot of different cases here. I'm just going to try to clear up most of the questions. About 90% is what I'm looking for. There's going to be some weird cases, so go easy on me in the comments. I know you have that weird burn sorcerer damage over time build that won't crit, and this isn't going to make sense, but bear with me. So, first thing we want to talk about, we're going to go easy to hard. So we're going to start with skulls. Skulls are pretty simple. You put them in your jewelry, they give you armor. Now you're going to do that level 1 to 100. It's the best thing that you can put in your jewelry. Armor is the best defensive stat right now. Anytime you have a socketed spot, any of your jewelry, the best skull you have, just slot it in there. I promise it's the best thing you can do because resistances are terrible. Why do I say that? Because Blizzard hasn't fixed them. The devs have actually come out and said that they plan to fix those. They plan to make resistances a lot better, but right now, for example, let's say you want to slot in a topaz to your jewelry. It's going to be 16.9% lightning resistance, right? What does that do? That gives you resistance like 1/5 of the time. And why would you ever take that when armor is 4 times as good? And it gives you defensive stats against all things: shadow, fire, lightning, cold, like all of it. Why would you ever take resistances until they fix that? You know, at least for the next 4 months or so, you're going to want to take those armor in your jewelry. Now let's get into more controversial stuff. So you have your weapons here. Your weapons is going to be basically emeralds or amethyst. Now, why do I would say emeralds are the best, and I have amethyst in my weapons, and you might be wondering why I'm doing that. Now let me explain. I, on this character, am only level 52. So when I get to about level 70, 75, I will make the transfer over to emerald. So right now in my weapons, I'm doing bleed damage, and so it's actually quite helpful to have that damage over time. Emeralds give you critical strike damage. When I get all my aspects and everything I need, my critical strike damage will be going crazy, and that's why I'm going to want emeralds. And you're probably going to want them too. Now that kind of explains weapons. You know, if you're way farther behind, or you're doing like a sorcerer build like fire, or you're doing any dot build, which means damage over time, which means your build won't be able to crit like a flame sorceress, you're going to want to take rubies most likely in your weapon. That's going to give you 18% overpower damage. It's going to be very helpful. Now armor, you can take a couple of different things. My biggest 2 tips would take either topazes or sapphires. Sapphires gives you damage reduction while fortified, and topazes give you 8% damage reduction while control impaired. Now, if you don't know what control impaired means, it means crowd control. It's CC, basically anytime you're slowed, you're stuck, you're frozen, you can't move, anything like that, you're poisoned, all those, control impaired where it affects your movement essentially. That's when, like you get stunned and all of a sudden the boss starts wailing on you. That's gonna help you a lot there so you don't die, because you're gonna get 8% damage reduction while control impaired, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots potentially. You could potentially have 2 slots in each of those. You could have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So you could have 12 topazes in your armor, and that would give you so much reduction while control impaired. It would be very, very useful for you. Now, if you're playing a barbarian, I would personally recommend you to go sapphires, just because of that fortify. You're getting it a lot, and you're getting that shield, and it's very, very useful, and it's going to be more useful than the control impaired. I would go with sapphires if you're specifically playing barbarian. If you're not playing barbarian, topazes is probably the way to go. Druid, I think might be able to take sapphires, but topazes is the safer route if you're not sure. So like I said, this is 90%. I'm gonna say topazes. I just want to clear that up because obviously I have sapphires, and I want to explain why I have sapphires and why I don't have topazes. And then basically the sad guy left out is diamond. Ultimate skill damage. I don't even use my ultimate anymore. You have your armor barrier generation and resistance to all elements. Diamonds, I will say this, when they do fix resistances, diamonds could be very, very useful because it gives you resistance to all elements. If like resistances became more useful than armor next season, that could be a path that you could go down. But right now, resistances are terrible, so just stick with skulls, stick with that armor. And that's going to be everything. Obviously there's going to be your one-off build, you know, your rogue nuke build that might be a little different, or your damage over time sorcerer flame build, right? But I hope I was able to help you today. If you want to see more content like this, I do upload daily, so stick around. I also stream on kick.com/JLOL247, JAYLOL247. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you in the next one.